Rinku.
Hey Archana, so are we all set for the conversation this week?
Absolutely set.
And what's the less dreaded demon we are talking?
So, today we are going to be talking about self doubt.
Oh.
And I'm very sure that all of us can actually resonate with the sentence that I'm going to say right now. So, if you hear a voice within you which is always there telling you that you cannot do this, then there are some measures that we need to take because this self doubt can create an overwhelming situation in us, which is very, 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 very dangerous.
Agreed, and I'm so glad that we're picking up this because, again, why we call it less dreaded it because it's there, and I think it stays in everyone. I don't think it's a big disease or it's a big something that we need to worry about, but it's definitely something that we should pay attention to and not ignore it completely. So I would say, I think in my experience, self doubt, like I said, it stays in every one of us, and definitely, in my opinion, it comes from the either it's because it creates a fear of mockery or failure or discomfort. There could be so many reasons why you self-doubt and stop yourself again from doing something that you're meant to be doing or you're totally capable of doing, but you hold yourself back.
Absolutely right. And self doubt is one situation which we all face at every stage of our life. It is something that we need to understand that as humans, we have it in us. And it's time we learn how to kind of let them go by still accepting that they are there, but we will make sure that we are going to let it go.
Yes. So I do want to bring a point here, Archana, that while we're saying it's a demon and we're discussing it as a demon, but it's also something that you can work with and kind of it can become your secret weapon to success. So it's like a coin with the two sides. Like it can be very very detrimental for your growth, but at the same time, if you use it correctly and manage it well, it can become a very good tool for you to even you can use it as your pillar of strength rather than your this thing. The only secret is how do you know is it your weakness or it can be used as your strength is in two parameters. So whenever, Archana, we would agree that there is a self-doubt, we have a question that crops up, right? Now what you have to understand is that if the question is instructional, if your inner voice is instructional, where it is commanding you to do something and it says, do not do this, or you should not do this, or I don't think you can do it, right? Then that's something that we need to work with. While if the self-doubt is coming in the form of seeking, as in it's trying to probe you a little bit and trying to ask you, why is it that you are scared of doing this? Are you sure you want to do it? Do you realize what is the outcome or what will happen once you do it? I think these are good doubtful questions. If they crop up in this form, I think this is good. So whether they're instruction or seeking, I think that's one differentiation we can do. But there's so many reasons, right, that the self-doubt would crop up. So we don't want to go there, but do you want to share with some insights on that?
I love the way you kind of change the narrative, like the way you kind of put the entire structure into having two sides. I think that makes it so easier for us to handle this situation. And believe me, I have children coming to me from the age group of, say, 5 years onwards that feel, I'm not good enough. I am not this. I'm not capable enough. I'm not talented enough. So many questions, right? And very rightly put. They just change the narrative and everything seems so amazing. However, I feel there are certain common causes which kind of come with this, which could actually exaggerate or enhance this situation, which should be taken care of. And number one is your past experiences or mistakes. Second could be your childhood upbringing, wherein you've been taught again and again, don't do this, don't do that, this is that. So I think that again has a lot of impact on this. Then again, I think most of us will again resonate with this. A lot of comparison with others as parents, as children, as adults. We always have this constant feeling of comparing everything and everybody with everybody else. I think that needs to be stopped. Again, whenever we have new challenges, we always dread ourselves. I think I'll not be able to do this, or maybe I'm not capable enough to do this, or maybe I'm not knowledgeable enough to do this. I think that is again one. Again, as humans, we have this fear of failure and also have this fear of success. Maybe I will, or maybe if I succeed, or maybe, So I think these maybes are the big things that offer and come with this specific section of demon that is self-doubt.
True, true. And I think very rightly put, Archana, you bring a very good point because, you know, we can't solve something if we don't know why they're cropping up. So it's good to know why. But as mindset coaches, you know, you and I, we know, but as coaches, we cannot clean your past, right? We can't clean the slate of your past. So if you've had some past experiences, they have happened to you. So that's the reality. But that's the reality of your past, and that's not the reality of today. So I think one has to make that comparison. But still, there are some practical tools. If you want, I can talk about some practical tools that people can use and work towards making self-doubt as their secret weapon rather than as their uh, weakness.
Would love to have some solutions come from you. Let's begin with them.
Okay, so one, the first and foremost, they say you become the person that you surround yourself with. So the 5 people that you surround yourself with, choose them correctly. It's not just for the matter of saying. I think it's been proven scientifically. So social modeling is one tool that people can use, and that says that either you be in a company of people that you want to aspire for. So, for example, if you want to be a public speaker, have 1 or 2 friends who are in that space, or follow people socially. You know, follow those influencers or motivational speakers who could be your ideals. You know, they are those idols and they are those role models that you look at. So start following them. I think it will give you that fire and it will give you that motivation. So social modeling is one. Now that's more outward looking. The other side to it is self modeling. Now we've all seen in a lot of Hindi movies, you know, before you won't want to go out and propose to a girl, the guy's always standing in front of a mirror and he's practicing it. Now that's exactly what we want to replicate in any situation. I think it's a good way because what you're doing is you're trying to emulate and be in that situation and overcome your fears. So whatever doubts and how you want to present yourself, what words you want to use, how you want to articulate yourself, all that comes into that practice. And mirror talk, I think it can help you wash away a lot of your self-doubts, not only for public speakers, for any space for that matter. So I think that'll be a good space. The other way of doing self-modeling is visual modeling. Now we all have these reels, right? So take an example of that. Have those 30-second clips and make your videos doing things that you fear that you can't do. And just for yourself, don't put it in public, just do it for yourself and try and see what you get to see and correct yourself and learn yourself, because what it changes is, Archana, it changes your doubts and fears to facts. So for example, if there is some public speaking opportunity you have had in past and you failed there, that was your past. But now if you're fearing another public speaking opportunity just because you failed in that past, maybe you want to practice it and you learned something from there, and the fact could be that you're not that bad anymore, and maybe you have learned, actually you've learned and you've improved, right? So these are a couple of things that you can do. Of course, visualization is another one which we spoke last time. I think it definitely helps, but at the end what we're trying to say is, if there is a doubt, don't shove it away, don't silent it, don't play with it, just tame it and try and open a conversation with yourself. And one important point when you're doing this self-talk is that do not try and address yourself as a third person. So what happens is that when you start a conversation and you're not looking at yourself as me, myself, you're looking at that person as you or somebody else. Like you can just say, Rinku, I want to understand why you are fearing. So start and open that conversation. It dissociates you and it kind of subtly takes away that fear. And so these are techniques that we as coaches use with people, but one can try, and I think some tips that people can use in their daily life. But I do agree that self-doubt is something that you can embrace and you shouldn't be fearing.
So very rightly put by you, Rinku. I think the solutions were amazing. There's one thing that I would want to add, as humans, we look for validation from outside. So we need to make sure that validation has to come from within. So like how you mentioned, make those reels, do that self-reflection, take a note of your values, your identification of what you are good at, and then give a validation from within for yourself. So I think that should really work.
So on that note, Archana, I think we've covered our perspective on self-doubt and the conversation that does matter in our day-to-day life. So these are the 3 B's that I want to leave everyone with. That if you are, I would say that be bold, be balanced, and be boundless. And let not these less dreaded demons hold you back in achieving what you truly aspire to.
So that's all we have on self-doubt. If you have anything that you would want to share with us, please do leave in your comments in the comment section below. We would love to hear them. Till then, bye-bye.
Bye.